Imagine a young boy who dared to ask the god of death himself what lies beyond life. A boy who refused all the riches of the world just to uncover the ultimate truth. This is the ancient tale of Nachiketa, one of the boldest seekers in the Upanishads, who walked into the realm of death to bring back the wisdom of the soul. A few thousand years ago, there lived a boy named Nachiketa. He was honest, intelligent, and had a deep yearning to know the truth. One day, his father, Vaajashravas, organized a Yajna, a sacred Vedic ritual meant to please the deities and gain divine blessings. During the ceremony, his father offered gifts to the priests. He offered them old, weak, and sick cows, along with other useless items. Nachiketa noticed this and, finding it dishonest and disrespectful, felt deeply disturbed. He told his father, "Father, what you are doing is not right." Then with childlike innocence he asked, "To whom will you give me?" Angered by what he thought was impertinence on the part of his son, his father exclaimed, "I give you to Yama, the god of death." Nachiketa, being truthful and steadfast, took his father's words seriously and set out to meet Yama himself. When he reached Yama's abode, he was told that Yama was away and would return only after 3 days. The young seeker waited 3 days and 3 nights without food or water. When Yama returned, he was dismayed to learn that a young boy who had come to visit him had been waiting for him without proper welcome or food. Such negligence was terrible, especially in the house of Yama, the upholder of righteousness. To make amends, Yama offered Nachiketa 3 boons. For the first boon, Nachiketa asked that his father's mind be at peace, free from anger and remorse, and that he might welcome his son with love. Yama granted this instantly, saying, "Your father is calm now and awaits you with open arms." For the second boon, Nachiketa said, "Please teach me the sacred fire sacrifice that leads one to liberation." He asked this not for himself, but for the welfare of all people. Yama gladly revealed the secret method and said, "This Agnividya, when performed with understanding 3 times, leads one beyond birth and death to union with the Supreme Brahman." Not only that, it would be known as Nachiketa Yajna hereafter. Then came the third boon. Nachiketa asked, "What happens to a person after death?" Some say the soul continues, others say it ends. I want to know the truth. Yama replied, "Even the gods have doubted this question. It is subtle, deep, and difficult to grasp. Ask me instead for wealth, for power, for long life, anything but this." But Nachiketa was adamant and said, "All these things you offer, wealth, pleasure, kingdoms, long life, will perish one day. When death arrives, they mean nothing. Teach me that which is eternal, which remains when all else ends." Finally, Yama was deeply pleased with Nachiketa's persistence and clarity of mind. He agreed to teach him Atma-Jnana, the knowledge of the self. Yama began his instruction by explaining the 2 paths that attract every human being. One that leads to pleasure and another that leads to spiritual satisfaction or fulfillment. He said, "The path of pleasure leads to death, but the path to the good and the true leads to immortality. Yama then revealed to Nachiketa the truth about the body, the mind, the senses, the intellect, and the Atman through the timeless analogy of a chariot. The Chariot Analogy. Know the self as the master of the chariot, the body as the chariot, the intellect the charioteer, and the mind the reins. The senses are the horses, and the roads they travel on are the sense objects of the material world. I will now give you Shlokas 3, 4, 5 and 6 from Canto 3 of Part 1 of the Katha Upanishad, the third among the 10 principal Upanishads. Shloka 3. Atmanam rathinam viddhe shariram rathamevatu buddhim tu sarathim viddhe manah pragrahamevacha. Know the self as the master of the chariot, the body as the chariot, the intelligence as the charioteer, and the mind as the reins. Shloka 4. Indriyani hayana hurvishayam steshu gocharan atmendriya manoyuktam bhoktetya hurmanishanaha. The senses are the horses, and the paths they go on are sense objects in the material world. The self, or the Atman, which is united with the body, senses and mind, is the enjoyer. Shloka 5. Yastva vijnanavan bhavatya yuktena manasa sada tasyendriyanya vashyani tushtashva ivasarathe. He who lacks right understanding and has an undisciplined mind has uncontrolled senses which are unmanageable like the vicious horses of a charioteer. Shloka 6. Yastu vijnanavan bhavati yuktena manasa sada tasyendriyani vashyani sadashva ivasarathe. But he who possesses right understanding and has a disciplined mind has senses which are always under control like the good horses of a charioteer. All emotions, anger, greed, lust, fear, and desire arise, exist, and dissolve within the mind. When the mind is uncontrolled, it can make life miserable for oneself and for others. Just as wild horses destroy a chariot without a skilled driver, so too does the mind lose direction without the guidance of the intellect. A person is a combination of the imperishable self, the body, the intellect, the mind, and the senses. When these are balanced and harmonized, life's journey becomes smooth, purposeful, and fulfilling. Let me sum up the chariot analogy again. The self is the master of the chariot. The body is the chariot. The intellect, the charioteer, and the mind, the reins. The senses are the horses, and the roads they travel on are the sense objects of the material world. The chariot analogy clears the mind of confusion. Never neglect your chariot, your body. Respect it, care for it, and keep it healthy and strong. A well-maintained body ensures not only comfort, but also clarity of thought and focus for higher pursuit. The mind is a powerful tool, limitless in potential. Use your intellect to direct it wisely. Remember, you are not your body, but you are the master of your body, and its good health is absolutely essential for the very existence of you as an individual. Respect your body and care for it well, because it is the only material possession that you can be sure to have until the end of your Yajna. You have at your disposal your intellect, with the help of which you will be able to regulate the power of your mind in order to control your senses, which by default tend to pull you in different directions and let you achieve nothing. Maintain order on board your chariot by controlling your horses, staying on course, and leading your understanding to the supreme divine goal of universal oneness. Thank you. Have a great life ahead. Stay blessed. Jai Shri Krishna.